Welcome to another episode of Radio Bypass, where we bring you the wonderful musicians creating all the kick ass music that we love and give you a chance to learn about new bands as well. And today I am very pleased to be joined by a man that's been around a little while with another band called Sponge, but is now part of a brand new band called the Lucid. We're talking to Vinnie Dombroski today. How are you, Vinnie?
I'm doing good, Ralph. How you doing?
I'm doing pretty well, thank you. I'm glad you could join us today and fill us in on this new band, the Lucid. Pretty exciting. When I first heard Maggot Wind, we played that on the show right away as soon as I heard about the song, and it was great. Got a lot of good feedback on it, and I'm super thrilled about this lineup coming together. But I was surprised. I didn't know any of this was in the works or anything. So tell us about the Lucid and how the band came together.
Well, it was pretty meager. Drew contacted me.
Vinnie, we lost you there. We lost you. Can you start that over? Your internet cut out on us.
It says my internet connection is unstable.
Yes, it sounded very unstable.
But long story short, I was contacted by Drew, the guitar player in the Lucid. And oddly enough, it wasn't like somebody called me on the telephone or talked to my agent. We don't have a manager currently, so they talked to manager. He emailed the spongetheband.com website and mentioned that they had some songs, and I didn't know who they was at the time, or they were. He had some songs that they demoed, so I could potentially write and sing on those songs. And I was like, well, send the songs to me. Let me hear what you got. And after that, I think in total, the fellas sent me probably 30 different song ideas. It developed, some fully developed, some not so fully developed. And we finally got the chance to properly record probably about 13 songs. And I believe 9 songs will be released on the full-length record, which is completely done. The record's done. We're not releasing songs as we finish them. The full-length record is completely done.
Mm-hmm. And still due out October 15th, correct?
I believe so. Yeah, I believe there's yet one other song that will drop October 6th, which is a song called Hair. And the fellas just keep me in the loop about what they're going to release. And I do believe that next single will drop October 6th. And then, the full-length record. But we're doing CDs, vinyl, pre-orders on the vinyl, which it's all very exciting stuff.
It is exciting stuff. And I know all that can be pre-ordered now at lucidofficial.com. So that is pretty cool. So tell us about the process. Once you get sent all these songs and eventually pared down that massive list of 30, I'm assuming they were all ideas, and then you had to put words to the music or things of that nature. Guessing in this day and age, everybody kind of recorded in their own places. I'm assuming, or did you guys all get together in one place?
Well, when I finally understood who was in the band, I was like, oh, that's interesting, because I wasn't made aware of that necessarily right up front. I didn't know who they were. And then when we started talking about like who's involved, and Mike Haller, which Mike has, insane drum kung fu, and of course David, and Drew was the initial contact with me. I go, this could be interesting. And everybody having a real deep understanding of rock music and recording. So yes, I was recording vocals at the house at my home. Drew was recording guitar. He may have even gone out to Mike Heller's studio, but David for sure went out to Mike Heller's studio. And that's when we all finally got together to meet in the same room back in 2000, the summer 2000. out in California, out in Los Angeles, David was cutting his bass tracks out there. So we did some photo shoots and, hung out and watched David play bass. I mean, it was totally kick-ass, a lot of fun. And again, Mike is a incredible drummer, but also a fantastic producer. He's kind of wearing that hat in the project.
Mm-hmm.
And it was great to see him working with David cutting the bass parts and getting everything tightened up so he could send them songs off to be mixed. So, it was sort of a combination of at home recording and in-person recording, all
Gotcha.
during the pandemic.
Yeah, I was gonna say you said the year 2000, but I think you probably meant 2020, right? Is when you guys got together.
2020.
Yeah. Okay, that's what I figured. I didn't think this was 20 years in the
That
making.
correction, man. 20 years have gone by real fast.
Yeah, man, they sure do. They sure do. So the first single, the lead single, Maggot Wind, I thought it was kind of interesting song musically, but also lyrically. Did you write the lyrics to that song?
Yeah, the fellas, they just left it up to me, and they didn't have any kind of like, you know, restrictions or any type of restraint. They let me just kind of write what I wanted to write, which was that's kind of cool. It's just taking a chance for sure, but it was cool because I could kind of just do what I wanted to do.
Right. So what was the inspiration behind that song for you? What were you thinking about?
I think about that inspiration almost every day, and that inspiration is just it's blind belief, and the damage blind belief can cause in people's life. Belief is a powerful thing, and I think belief, when it's used correctly, is an enormously positive, powerful thing. At the
Mhm.
same time, I think belief in a thing, person that is perhaps not researched enough can be a thing. And I think that there has certainly been a lot of that's gone on in past history and of course even current history. I think about it every day. So it's just blind belief is the core of the meaning of the tune.
Gotcha. Gotcha. Interesting. You went deep there. That's great. And what's the
Sorry.
what's and what's the latest single now? You guys released another one on Bandcamp, I believe, right? A second single.
Yeah, yeah. The song is called "Damned." The chorus being, damned if you do, damned if you don't, damned if you're rich, damned if you're broke, damned if you seek, damned if you find, damned if you see, damned if you're blind. So that's the whole chorus of the tune. No matter
Mhm.
who you are, sometimes the fickle finger of fate can come and like, put its fickle finger on your forehead. Try to say that 3 times.
I don't think I could. Well, that's cool. That's cool. That's available now on your Bandcamp site, so you can check that single out, guys, whenever you want to. And I'll certainly be adding that to our next music episode next Saturday as well, so you can check out more music from the Lucid. And the album's really just a couple of weeks away now, October 15th. So that's pretty cool. And again, you can pre-order at lucidofficial.com.
Yep.
You guys got any plans on trying to do anything live?
Great question. I certainly would like to get out there and do our share of gigs. The fellas have talked about perhaps in 2022, which would be
Mhm.
going out to do like maybe some of these rock and roll cruises that bands do. But I know David and Drew are doing their promotion for their movie and their book. They go to the different conventions that are out there. I know you
Right.
mentioned a convention in October that the boys will be involved in. I think it's in Indiana, but yeah, that's the fellas out there shaking hands and signing stuff. So
Gotcha. So that is not a band performance at those events. That's
well,
just
I mean, not that I know of right now, but that that could change. They go, yeah, we're gonna release a single. I go, when? We released it. I'm going, thanks for telling me.
The last
I'm
to
kidding.
know, right?
That's
It's
okay.
it's okay. You did your job. You put on some great vocals on these tracks. I mean, not that I've got to hear them all yet, but I'm sure they're all going to be just as good as Maggot Wind was. It was a pretty cool track. And then for you, your band Sponge is still an ongoing entity as well, right?
Can you believe that? I mean, it's like people remember the first two records and then
Right.
they go, ah, you guys disappeared. And what they don't know is like we've been playing gigs, since then. So it's
Mm-hmm.
like if things started to kind of, darken in people's eyes at the end of like 1999, we've been hard at it ever since then, out playing festivals, clubs, whatever we can play. And we've had a really busy summer, really busy. So,
Right.
yeah, we're out there. We got a brand new record out. We dropped August 6th. The record's called Laboratorium on Cleopatra Records. So, we're making records and we're playing gigs, unbelievable.
It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. Yeah, I remember what was it? I think it was when the Twister movie came out, right? Wasn't that the Plowed song?
Oh,
Wasn't that in that movie?
well, it's fun. This is weird. You're probably the first person that's asked me about that ever, or maybe the
Really?
first one in 20 years. That movie, some of the technology that created that tornado was initially edited into the Plowed video, and the Plowed video initially was this, it was a whole big production with this tornado,
Right.
which was all scrapped. It was all scrapped and it was boiled down to the band performance. That was it. So yeah, about that same time period that the Twister movie came out, we used some of that technology at the time.
Oh, that's cool. That's cool. I thought I
Yeah.
kind of remembered that
How'd you
too.
know?
Uh,
How'd you know?
I saw the movie.
Yeah.
No, I
Good to
just,
know.
I no, I I'm a music nut, I guess, and I happen to know things about different bands that probably nobody else really thinks about, but they somehow stick in this head. Ask me what I
Well,
ate for lunch yesterday. I couldn't tell you, but ask me about a record or something like that from 20 years ago. I'll give you all the details.
I got to tell you, nobody's asked me about that. I would guarantee in 20 years, man.
That's wild. That's wild. Well, I haven't forgotten. So that's cool. So Sponge is definitely ongoing. So that's good. I wasn't positive because I know you've had changes in the Sponge lineup over the years. So I wasn't sure if that
Yeah.
was
Yeah.
still a definite ongoing thing. And I'm sorry to say I did not know, as much as I try to keep up on everything, that you dropped a new record in August. So I got to check
Right.
that out now.
But things have been pretty cool. It's like there has been such a interest in 90s bands, a resurgence in the 90s, and it's like new people, younger people are discovering how cool 90s music was. And it seems like the folks that were around, high school, college age people that were around back in the 90s are kind of rediscovering it too. So we've had some really, even as of recent, really great shows, a lot of energy and well attended.
Yeah. Well, that's great. I'm happy for you. That's wonderful. And hopefully you'll find time in your schedule then to get these Lucid guys all together too, because I'd like to see that band live. I think you guys would be pretty killer all together
Oh,
playing live.
I'm already picking out the new leather pants. They're not as small as the old leather pants, but
Yeah, I could say the same thing, and I got a lot more weight on me than you do, so I don't think you got to worry. But
man, I found my old. When we were moving, I found my old leather pants, which I cannot fit into no way. But they were they were kind of packed away with a uh, ape costume, and I'm going, why were my leather? I must have packed them when I was bombed or something. You know what I mean? I go, why would I pack away my leather pants with my ape costume? I had no idea why.
it's funny. It never came to you, huh? Why
I
you
don't
did
know.
that?
Maybe I'm saving up for Lucid. I don't know.
That's funny. All right. Well, I know we've got kind of a rough connection here, so I won't keep you any longer. Unless, is there anything else we should know about this Lucid and about the record coming out?
Well, I think people should definitely watch out. Keep an eye out for the live date announcements. I think that for sure dates in 2022 are a guarantee, and that keep an eye out for this whole record. Again, the record's done. We're not leaking songs because we're just finishing something up. The record's been done,
Right.
and I'm excited about people hearing the whole record.
Yeah, I'm looking
Yeah.
forward to that. All right, awesome. Well, thank you, Vinnie, for taking some time to come by Radio Bypass and fill us in on Lucid, and also to find out that Sponge definitely is still an ongoing entity. So appreciate your time coming by, in spite of the fact that I know we had some technological challenges there and you made it work. So thank you very much.
Well, you know what? In this day where we have Zoom, it's a real technological advantage. But sometimes because of the shortcomings of internet Wi-Fi on my end, I'll take responsibility. It's a challenge, but I appreciate your time, Ralph. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Vinnie. You have a good rest of the day.
You too. My pleasure. Take care.